seems to be a little smaller, yes. We do feel a little more
They put
condensed.
17 or 14 on those,
Huh?
the date.
You wrote 14.
Okay, good. Today is the 14th, yeah.
Yes, today's 4th.
Today is the 14th.
All right. So we'll call meeting to order, 7:03.
3 minutes late.
Pledge of allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we've got, what, 4 sets of minutes? Or was it 5?
No, it was,
4, right?
no,
Oh,
no, it was 3.
I counted 4.
It was, well, yes, but one of them was the approved minutes.
Oh, that's right, that's...
So we have January 17th, public. We have February 1st,
Which one do you want to do?
public and non-public. So those are the ones we have.
Well, the one you'd need to abstain from because you were absent.
Well, that would be,
The
That would be the
first.
February,
That's
February
February.
1st one.
So why don't we do January
January
17th? So we have a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve January 17th minutes.
Yeah.
I could second. All right, any corrections, comments?
Anybody see anything?
All right, all in favor? Aye, 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 aye. All across the board, all right. And then the February 2nd, or
February
February
1st.
1st. Yeah, let's do public and then non-public. So we'll do the public first. So,
Make a motion?
wanna make the
To
motion?
accept
Yeah, that was the
31st,
classification, wage, and salary study meeting.
Right.
Yeah.
Want a second, or you want me to?
I'll second.
Doesn't matter either way. All right, any comments, corrections? Yeah, I did not see anything when I read it over.
Yeah.
No, look good.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
401.
401.
And then the non-public,
Non-public.
We'll make a motion to accept the non-public minutes from February 1st.
second, I guess.
I'll second
You
it.
want to
Yeah,
second?
I
It's
will.
all yours. You say Karen seconded. All right, any comments, questions, anecdotes?
Candidates?
Anecdotes, I don't know.
Anecdotes, little stories.
Little stories. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, aye, aye. 401.
Okey-doke.
All right, committee updates.
if you approve the, you've also put in here the non-session for November 29th. We have to approve those as well. Oh,
That was already approved.
God,
She
that
just
was
kept
already
it in there.
approved.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the one I thought was, I
okay.
didn't realize that was already approved.
Yep.
All right,
Yeah, second.
Yep.
Close. Go ahead.
All right, so committee updates, Friends. Friends resume on the 27th. So they have not met yet, so.
February 27th.
So, Development Fund.
No updates. They haven't met since our last meeting. I believe it's March 21st, did they
Okay.
meet? At
Is
the
that right?
library.
Oh, okay. Was that it? Okay. Library Building and Development Marketing Committee is still on hiatus. Town Center Committee,
Town Center Committee just met last Friday. They're developing a more current map of the town center, what it constitutes and where the boundaries are. And they're working with the Nashua Regional Planning Commission on that. And then they're also going to, we discussed the money that is going to be coming from the $520,000 grant that we've got. And we're talking about the sidewalks and the renovations. that it's going to be used for. It's kind of out of the committee's hands now because it's federal. And so the town and the state are engineering and working on things like that. They're also talking about, for Abbey Griffin Park, they're going to put in we would like to put in a set of steps that are from Daniel Webster Highway up to the top of the hill. And it's moving along very nicely. Actually, the Rotary Club is going to sponsor some of the granite that is needed for the steps. And then they're thinking that rather than put brick in the middle, they're going to put soil in the middle and actually make it so that the mowers, the big riding mowers, will be able to just mow the steps. So it'll be very easy to take care of and things won't sink in. And hopefully it will be paid for mostly by contributions, donations. And the other thing is that they're still working on developing a brochure to tell the town what the committee is all about, and the map would go along with that. So actually tomorrow, the farmers market in the senior center, the town center committee is going to be there with brochures and information.
Okay.
So that's the story there.
Is that all? All right. So moving on to the Personnel HR Committee.
Well, the only thing we have outstanding is an overtime policy that we need to work on.
I have it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't have
Oh,
that
okay.
today, but yes, I know that I have the list of policies.
So it's out there.
All right, Building Maintenance, Building and Maintenance Committee.
We met, Janet and I met with Yvette and Jared and Joanne today to walk through the building and visually look at what repairs need to be done, what might be kind of maintenance. Most of it was more in the realm of repair, or changes that needed to be done to be updated and more compliant with current times. And we were both surprised at how many large projects there really are, and they will have large price tags.
Like, do you have an example?
So,
of
well,
what-
we're going to be putting together a list of what all these are and what maybe some idea of what the cost will be, and begin to look at this very big picture,
Okay.
because it's quite a bit.
Well, when you
there.
say compliant with modern times, what do you mean by that?
Well, for example, the elevator needs to be replaced because it's not the right size and it doesn't shut off automatically at night. It's just not modernized
Okay.
and to meet current code.
It doesn't shut off during an emergency. If the fire alarm goes off, it has to be manually turned off.
Right, so they have to have an alternative evacuation plan for people in the basement who may not be able to do the stairs. So that's one thing.
Well, I'm sorry, but that's, when you have a building without an exit that, to the ground level, I mean, we can carry people up the back stairs.
Yeah.
Or I've worked in other libraries that didn't have any kind of access to go outside other than an elevator, and the rule of thumb was you find a place to shelter, you shelter in place. Sometimes it's a bathroom, sometimes it's a corner of a basement. I mean, that's very normal when you are dealing with a building that, for whatever reason, when it was built, no one was thinking about this. If the, God forbid, situation, what happens, how do you get someone out? So we, it's normal. I want to say it's kind of normal, and we have other measures in place to address if there was an emergency,
Oh, yes.
you know.
But I'm just saying that the elevator system's out of date.
Sure, but it's been maintained, and we just had the wheels
Yeah.
redone, and, you know, it works fine. The fire department trains on it. They're very familiar with our facilities.
Yeah, so, but we'll be putting together a list that will give us a better idea of what the very big picture is of the needs of this building.
Yeah, I mean, it's not it shouldn't seem like it's news or new information to you guys really, because all of this, the big projects have been on the CIPs for all the times that I've been the director and we've gone through the CIP season. You know, in the past, the library has only put forth new library building, $6 million. And now we have roof, slate roof, dry sprinkler system, HVAC, front door. I mean, there's many projects that get on the list so we can plan for the budget and notify the town of what our needs might be to maintain the building. But, you know, if it's something that we haven't gotten a quote from a vendor yet, then you haven't seen it on the CIP yet. But, you know, sometimes it's just gathering information, or it doesn't seem to us to be something that needs to be addressed right away. It's still, for us, it's still out on the horizon, so there's no point in bringing it really forward, and because it can't be articulated on a CIP yet. So, because a lot of our big projects are placeholders on the CIP.
Okay. Anything else?
No,
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we have a list at the
Right.
library that we have it. So, if the board or if the committee wants to look at it first before the March meeting and then bring it to you in March, that's fine.
To the investment committee.
A minute. Yeah, we'll meet. You've been working on all these other numbers, so.
All right. New business. I believe the only thing I think we really need to discuss, we still need to schedule a meeting time for Yvette's review.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So
Yeah,
I don't know if you
April's
guys
coming
want to just get with me after the meeting. We'll pick a date that works for everybody.
Yep. That year went fast.
Yeah.
Boy, it sure did.
Anybody else have anything for new business at this point? No? All right, moving on to the treasurer's report.
Okay. So in our fines account, our starting balance was $22,321.14. And for January, our ending balance, we had a total receipts of $2,077.57. And our total disbursements was $200 for museum passes. So our ending balance was $24,198.71. That's pretty good.
Yep.
Our special account for January, we started with $12,490.99. We took in a total of $2,935.40, and then we dispersed $263.46. So our ending balance for January is $15,162.93. Any questions?
Good.
Yeah.
Book sale.
sale did really well.
Book sale did well.
Yeah, it was busy.
2,600, that's very good.
Busy,
Yeah.
I can't believe it. Even the Friday pre-sale for the Friends was busy.
It was very busy.
All right. Anything else on the treasurer's report? No, see nothing. Moving on to the director's report.
Okay. Don't have a lot going on. So we've hired Emily Sennett as the head of youth services, her PAR been completed and submitted, and I know you already approved her, but to bring it into the public, if you want to vote to accept her publicly.
I make a motion to accept Emily Sinnott.
Yes, second.
Laura seconded. Any comment? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
Great.
Yes, indeed.
And she started last
Oh,
week.
yeah, when does she start?
Somebody started.
Sorry,
yeah,
I
she's-
haven't seen her.
She's been in for a week.
Oh,
With lots of snow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
not, kind of a lot of canceling things.
That's what happens when you start in the middle of winter, I guess, you know. But so far, so good.
So far, so good.
And then I added something, I wrote something in that I had emailed you about. Jennifer Schaefer reached her 5-year anniversary with us on the 22nd of January. So I received the little nameplate to go on the
Nice.
5-year plaque that was dropped off today. And, so that will go on, and I've already congratulated her. And she was not able to be here today because she's has some other things she needed to do already, but she was very...
Valentine's Day.
Yes.
It was actually not, it's not a romantic thing. She has other family obligations, fortunately or unfortunately, but fortunately. But she said thank you, and she was very happy to reach 5 years.
She got her, was it, and she gets a gift, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
The other thing that's going on at the library, we are reviewing trials for Flipster and Zinio. Overdrive stopped offering their e-magazine, so we're looking into these two platforms to see which one might be better. We've met with the vendors, and so now the trials are just running, and the staff is testing it out to see what might have the best offerings. They're different. And really, all of the libraries in New Hampshire are needing to kind of broach this question of, are they going to find another service that they have to buy independently versus in the state?
Are the e-magazines well-used?
Yes.
I was going to ask that too.
They really are. And the nice thing about the e-magazines, when we're looking at some things, you know, we can put on a cover of a hard copy magazine that we have on the shelf, also available as an e-magazine, and then you can download it. But we could all download the same magazine and read it at the same time. And then for these are different platforms, but I know one of them that we looked at, you keep the magazine. It doesn't check back in.
Yeah.
And you get a year's worth of back issues.
So you get it like as a PDF or something? Or?
Well, I don't know if it's a PDF because I haven't
Well, yeah,
done
it's
these
whatever
trials, but I
format.
know I've seen some of them where you put your finger on it, it's like the page turns. So so we're looking at that now. I have to look
Pretty
at the
neat.
second one.
Okay.
May I ask, is there any progress as far as Hoopla is concerned?
It's up.
I was gonna ask.
It's up?
It's up?
Well, I don't know if it's public yet, but we're having the staff train on it. Well, okay, I'll take that back. It's up for the staff to train on. We have it. It's we have to just reveal it. And I don't know. I didn't see Alex today, but I received his email along with everyone else saying it's ready and we're going to do training and make your own account and this is how, you're going to do that so that we can communicate to the patrons. This is how you do it. But he left the reveal date blank. It just said released on, and I was like, oh well, what? You didn't fill that part in. When can I?
Downloaded and
Yeah,
everything.
because I'm going away on vacation at some point, and I want Hoopla to go with me.
It will be very soon, but I have to
Okay.
ask him because I don't know. That was the one goofy thing he left out of the email because it was one of those emails from the vendors. Please share this with your staff, and I guess he didn't. Alex is very good, but
Yeah.
that's one little detail that I'm like, I don't know when it releases.
You need to put out like a
Oh, yeah.
blurb on
Oh, yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah.
when
Oh,
it's
yeah.
out.
Yeah, because I still have it on my phone, but I don't know that that was the trial one.
Right.
So yeah,
Okay,
I'll ask him though.
that's good.
Yeah. other things, GMILKS, the consortium, has our annual retreat this Thursday. It's going to be, from 9 to 3 at the Hooksett Public Library, and we're going to be talking about patron pain points.
Patron what?
Pain points.
Pain points?
Pain points.
Pain.
They came up with some
P-A-I-N.
pain.
Pain.
Yes. Things
What is
things
that?
that come up
Term.
there are a couple of topics. I think there are 4 topics that come up consistently in all the libraries about complaints that patrons have. And for example, Merrimack has a certain set of rules on when we're going to release new materials, but Salem's is a different set of rules, and Manchester has a different set of rules, and Bedford and so on. So, it's confusing if you're moving from library to library, when can I get that new item? That's something.
Like a new book or a CD, a DVD?
Sure, item.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because all the rules are different, and, each town wants to have some autonomy, for sure. But how can we address the pain points? Because it's frustrating because you just want your thing. You don't care about the rules necessarily, how they're different from here versus here versus here. I just want my thing, So how can we better serve our patrons? So yeah, we're going to be talking about that. Alex is coming with me because he's our alternate to the board. I'm on the board and he's on the alternate. So I think it's his first GMILKS meeting that he's able to come to because he's a new alternate. So yeah, it's going to be day with Alex. It's going to be fun. So yeah, so that's what's going on with us. But otherwise, there's not a heck of a lot else going on.
You had a meeting at the library,
We had a Hillstown meeting.
Hillstown. Because I came in the other day and
Yeah.
you were all downstairs
Yep.
meeting.
That is a regional co-op. We're divided geographically, and it's a mix of large and smaller libraries. We had viewed a webinar on managing a multi-generational workforce. And how the expectations are different. Okay. It was very good. If you want to view it, you're welcome to, but yeah.
And the town public hearings
Yes.
Thursday evening.
And that's in the
Any of us
calendar.
to attend? Should we attend?
Well, it depends on what comes out of our non-public.
Oh, true.
As far as I know, that's still the time. So,
You have the kit lending policy?
yeah, I guess that could be other business, whenever you're ready.
Just- Oh, okay.
Did you mention that? Because I would have added that to new business.
I don't know.
That's okay, we can cover it under other. All right. So that was it for the
Mhm.
director's report. All right, operating budget.
Do you have any questions about anything?
Does the maintenance office equipment involve the new printer?
Copier?
Oh,
It-
yeah, the new
it
copier. Yeah. Is that why it's,
No, we just got that.
No, we paid for that through fines.
oh, that's right, we paid for that through fines. Hasn't showed up yet?
So we're over on buildings, so we just have to kind of keep an eye on
What, the 30,000?
that. Yeah.
Anybody have any comments?
What was the office equipment? You said that did not include the copier? What was included there?
That line is for maintenance for office equipment. It's not for purchasing office equipment.
Oh,
But the copier was purchased out of trustee money.
Hmm?
The copier was purchased out of trustee money.
yes. And the 30,000 for buildings, what is that representing at this point?
If for that kind of detail, I'd have to look.
Okay.
There's a detailed version of this that I can print out that's 9 pages,
Oh, okay,
and it'll show you every invoice that gets paid.
okay.
But the board has never you can get whatever you want, but this is what has always been given to the board. But
Mhm.
Speaking of buildings, did that electrical,
that's not been scheduled yet.
okay,
That
that was my question.
Yeah, the last communication I had from them, from the vendor, was on the 7th that they were going to go ahead and order whatever parts they needed and schedule it, depending on when the parts showed up, schedule it for, get back to me early this week, which is today.
Okay.
So I haven't got anything yet.
Yeah, I'm sure everything is thrown off anyway.
So any other comments on the operating budget? No, seeing none? All right. On to old business. We have the Watson account review, which you had sent out some findings on that.
Yes.
Want to talk on that one?
Sure. Get to it. I have like so many things open.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it. Thanks. What's in there? So, I was investigating where if we didn't take, this year we would take the money that's there and then move the CD into something else.
Right.
That was my intention. And then it was to see where the best option was to go. We have 3 financial institutions: TD Bank, TCU, and Fidelity. I wanted to. We needed to make sure that we had the guarantee of principal, so I stayed away from Fidelity. And then DCU had better rates than TD. So.
And that's where it is right now.
And that's where it is right now. So, so my email basically says, these are various times, time in terms of years to hold the CD, and just for, because I wanted to see the difference. I was curious why we don't bank at DCU, because if we did, the CD would have a better rate, but I mean, it's
Because we are doing multiple accounts?
because we use their, it's really just using their checking. It's like if you had 3 checks, if you wrote, I think it's like 3 checks through DCU, you get this 0.25%, excuse me, 0.25% more. So, and we already have a fines account there in a savings account, and we have a special savings account there. So there's technically already money there in both accounts. So I didn't know.
I couldn't answer that. That's the decision a previous board made.
We do
Okay.
get that, I forget what it's called, where if people
Affinity.
let the affinity program there. So
I just-
maybe we
I don't
should
know
look
how
and
much
see
that-
how much
I
that
don't know how
brings
much you
in.
get.
Last year we got 0.
At TD, we get
Oh,
the
really?
Affinity.
Right.
How much? So far, nothing?
I think in the beginning, the first year we got $90, I think, and then it's really been nothing. It hasn't taken off.
And that would be the reason that we're staying at TD, because they have that.
Well,
No,
that's
no,
just the way it
no.
was set up. Yeah.
Oh.
The board, this is your money.
We can move it
You
wherever
can
we want.
go wherever you want.
And unless
we
they
get fed up with all three
it'd be
banks and we
easier.
want to move to a fourth one altogether, we could.
Swiss
decide
bank
that.
account,
Yeah.
sure.
Exactly. Cayman Islands.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You read my mind. Islands.
I have to go check it out down there to see.
Hey, well, yeah, obviously, you two would have to go.
Road trip.
I don't know.
Interesting. I wonder
So
why
it
zero.
would be easier
I
to
don't,
have it all
oh,
in one day.
Well-
because no one's
Like
connecting
my
us.
accounts are connected to it.
Yeah, I thought they said if you, once you connect to your account, it's an annual.
Yeah, they do like
Thing.
a percentage of whatever you.
The first year the bank manager came and gave me a check, but then I haven't gotten it. I know they've changed managers, but
Yeah, that's something we should
I wonder if they
look into.
I can look into it.
delivered it.
that's it.
I mean, I don't particularly feel any loyalty to any
Yeah, if we're
particular
only
bank.
getting- if we're
I'd
only
rather
getting
get the
90
most
bucks out of
money.
that account, then, you know, it sounds like the 1/4%
Well,
would actually add up to more than the 90.
it does. I did a difference just to see, and even that 1 year is $75, and then the 1.5 years is $113. So,
For DCU?
yeah. So,
And do they have any fees on their like checking and stuff like that? So we wouldn't lose anything.
It's a different name on the check, it sounds like.
exactly.
Yep.
So, but so I have my thoughts that basically said they had better rates than the other institutions. They have the coin counter, which is significant because TD got rid of their coin counter, and if we stop having an account at DCU, my goal was to consolidate our accounts, or at least figure something out. But the coin counter is there, and if we don't have an account there, you're charged like, I think it was like 6% or 10%, something like that. So I didn't like that.
And plus, it would be the less that we have to switch over when we have a new treasurer or a new chair. Then
Exactly.
we don't
Whatever.
have to go to 3 different places.
That's
to
true.
Change
Exactly.
accounts.
Yeah.
So it was a thought. I did think about if we moved over, because there's money already there. We would have to open up an account, a checking account. We can transfer money over, and then even if it took a year to finally get everything, I don't know if there's things that are automatic, or I don't know, in terms of things that are tied to to TD Bank, other than just checks. I don't know.
Should be.
That
Eventually, at least,
exactly, you could just start
gradually
moving,
move over.
migrating over,
Mhm.
and just. I mean, I didn't know if it was just a pure checking account.
I think so, yeah.
So
Yeah, you could just go in and
just
transfer it
exactly.
over.
Exactly. So, but then you'd still need checks, and it would just. It's not like a week process. I mean, I think it would be at least a month or two, or more, just to get there.
They give you temporary checks.
Right. So, those are my thoughts.
No, I think it sounds like a good idea to keep everything as consolidated as possible.
When, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm done.
Okay. I'm sorry. When is the Watson account?
It's
needed to
March.
be
March
renewed?
1. March 1 it
March 1st,
matures.
Okay, so we wouldn't have time to switch the accounts before that, really?
I think I think it depends on how long we want to keep the Watson account,
Right.
and not do it annually. And then
Well,
then it's just even if we don't take advantage of it for the first year, the first 6 months or whatever, I think consolidating accounts is a
Because it sounds like, based on what you were saying, since we already have money there, we wouldn't really even have to switch the account right away. We just basically get that account turned into a checking instead of savings.
I did ask about that. We do have to open an account, though. We can transfer money, but we can't just change the savings to checking.
So we'd have to open the
New
A
one.
checking
new
account.
one and then transfer the money from savings over to it.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
And then all we'd have to do is just, as long as we did 3 checks a year, we're good on that.
from what I understand, yes.
Something to consider then. Thoughts?
Well, I
think it
like the
makes
idea of
sense.
consolidating
Yeah.
myself. I think it's
Yeah.
easier to manage,
Right.
keep track of, follow up with one place rather than three.
Have statements for
Yeah, have
Everything that
consolidated
are-
statements.
consolidated, and that way develop some kind of a rapport with the people we're dealing with too, because if we have 2 or 3 accounts, then
Yeah.
they'll,
My thoughts is before we actually, if we did decide to do this, before we closed out of the TD, just double check 100% about that affiliate account.
Yeah.
See if we are getting money this year or what the deal is with it.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Well, we have to make a deposit later this week, so
Yeah.
do that.
Okay.
Great.
So how do we want to proceed? I mean, what are your thoughts?
First, I want to
How
do the
long?
Watson first. Regardless of changing anything.
So right now, we're just renewing the Watson.
We're going back to
That's your
Watson.
recommendation, okay.
What's the time frame you guys like
In terms of maturity?
in terms of maturity?
Kind of like the 3-year, because it's a little bit of a jump to.
I'd like to
Well,
do
we're
3
not,
too.
we can't draw the principal, right?
We're going to take the principal within the next 2 weeks before March 1st. So it's like $160, $170 for this year.
That's the interest we earned.
Yeah.
Correct. We can't touch.
But we
correct,
can't
cannot
touch the principal.
Right.
We have 30,000.
30,000, we always
So you're
leave.
just saying, do we keep it where it is or move it? Is that your question?
Well, we
No.
have to,
Do we-
it's matured, so you have to do something. with
Right,
it.
so,
And
and it's in a CD or?
It's in a CD right now.
I mean,
and
it's in DCU or TD?
Yes.
DCU.
Oh, so it's over there.
It's already there.
So it's just a question of how long do we want it tied up? to what
right.
Right.
And if we tie it up for 3 years, we'll get more interest than we
Yes.
would for one.
Yeah, there's a possibility that the interest rates might go up in March.
All right.
We might want to wait for that.
And the only reason we haven't done the 3-year in the past is because we didn't think we could, but,
Right, yeah, we thought it.
Based
had to
on
be-
what was
we
asked
thought
in
we had to
the,
draw it annually, but
the
we.
training
don't.
session, we found out we could do it for multi-years. So,
So we have 2 weeks after March 1st?
So if the money isn't, if we don't do anything with it, it will
auto-renew.
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 Thank you, that's the word I wanted.
Yeah,
It
Two
will
in the
auto-renew.
same
How
one.
long?
It'll be a year.
Yeah. Or if we decide the 3 years is okay, then what we'd have to do is go in before the 1st and say, we want to make this
Oh.
a 3-year.
Yep.
So the 1st is the rollover date?
Correct.
Oh. Well, interest rates might go up.
Well, in
But we
in
can
which
hold
case
it.
they'll go up.
I mean, we can keep it in an account that just sits there
Yeah,
if we wanted to and wait a month.
yeah,
Because we're locked in at the rate.
right.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why maybe we should do that.
There
for
is
them.
they do have I didn't do it because it was less. I didn't do the numbers, but they do have a jump up CD for one time in the period that you hold it. There is a one-time jump up rate that you get to obviously jump up to the higher rate, but it starts at a lower rate.
Oh.
So
Hmm.
I was like, wow.
That sounds very odd.
I thought I called on it. I was like, "What is this?" So,
Interesting.
Something else to confuse us.
exactly.
So if we go to the 3-year and there is a rate increase, we won't be able to take advantage
Right.
of it.
Maybe we should let it sit for a month, see if the rates go up, and then,
We'd have to tell them not
You'd
to
have to-
auto-renew it then.
Right. Well,
We'd have
when
to
I
move it
we
into
just wouldn't-
savings then or something.
yeah, you just leave
Right.
it in, out of CD form. Just
Right.
don't renew
Right,
the
you'd have to
CD.
right.
make sure
And
they
then
don't
put it back in
auto-renew it.
another month if
Exactly.
you want.
So when we take the money, like I said, which is around $170, we'll we can let it sit for a month and see where the rates are,
Yeah.
and
I think I'd be in favor of that myself, just to see if they pop up. If they don't, then we can decide if we want. I'm a little nudgy about three full years, but 1.9 is a whole lot.
well, I did it this way. I said it's close to $1,000, so it's $333 per year versus $180. But we just can't touch it for 3 years.
Right.
Yeah.
I know, it's that trade-off.
Got your dice out? Okay,
All right, well,
I think I'd
do we want to make a
I'd be
motion
in favor of
on?
waiting to see if they do jump up a little bit more than this, and then if not, in another month, just put it back in the CD.
So what's that process? Do you just call them and say, switch it to a savings, or?
I don't know.
You just tell
Yeah.
them not to renew it.
Well, when I go and take out the money anyway, I'm not gonna renew it, so,
Well, you got to specifically tell them,
Tell them not to
otherwise they'll
auto-renew.
auto-renew it.
exactly.
It'll just be a
So.
savings.
Right.
Yeah.
We have
Okay.
accounts, I don't see why it couldn't just sit in one of them.
Okay. So
Okay.
we'll
Well, we may
basically,
have to keep it as a separate account because it is a
Absolutely.
Watson, it is a
Mhm.
particular type. We couldn't mix it up.
Oh, no.
right,
Heaven forbid as the funds cross
I
and
know,
touch.
but don't want that. All right.
so how do we wait, I would assume we want to make a motion here at this point. Motion to hold the money
To
for
not renew
for the
CD.
month, and then we will review again next month
Yeah.
on,
So
Interest
we would,
rates.
we're going to agree to make a decision by April 1st.
request the not roll over and make a decision by April 1st or March 1st?
Oh, March 1st is when it
March 1st.
renews.
Oh, April.
Well, at the
Well,
March.
by
or
our
meeting.
April, by our March meeting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with the
got it.
March or April
Yeah.
meeting, we could make a decision at that point.
Okay. So,
Okay. So we are taking the money out, we are taking the interest out. We are not renewing it.
yes,
We're going to hold it and review at our next meeting.
yes.
Okay.
And we
Is that
use that, we
consensus?
have to spend the interest, correct? We're not re,
We don't have
We're
to.
not-
We don't
spend
have
it.
to.
so you're not rolling it back into the account.
Right.
Okay.
I mean,
What have we been doing?
We've been
You
pulling,
take it
We've
one
been
for
pulling it
a
out,
year.
haven't
there were
we?
1 or
Isn't
2
it?
years we forgot to take the interest out before it got, or we
Last
just
year.
didn't get there in time, and it auto-renewed before we got to it, because we've,
Okay.
you know,
Do we
so
have a particular need for it right now for something? Is there something that?
it's, we
It's-
buy,
There's guidelines about what we can purchase.
I thought it was like books.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
very specific kind of
gardening
books,
stuff
yes.
and-
Okay.
Yeah.
So is there
Gardening and
any need
animals is
for it
all.
at this time? For this, I don't know all the criteria for this account.
You know, I don't think need is the right word. It's the requirement that we spend it. So, you know, we'll buy whatever fits the requirement. I mean, books are being published all the time, so.
is it limited to books, or would we be allowed to use like DVDs and things like that that also fit the,
Leave books.
But there wasn't a
That's not
stipulation.
in the trust.
Yeah.
I know you guys talked or wrote to him,
Well,
Mr. Watson.
I didn't personally do that, but yeah.
Yeah.
But that's
I don't
actually
think
not
there
in the
was
trust.
anything in
There's
there.
nothing in the trust. I say that because I found it, but I know
yeah.
at one time.
well, okay.
It was
So-
just more kind of what, I thought it was, I don't know if it was Janet.
What she
who
used to
asked-
like.
Yeah, what.
This
is
what she
what
likes.
kind of things she
So
liked.
that's
More
been
of
the
a family
guideline is.
request,
Well,
I
but if
guess.
the trust doesn't specifically designate it, then we're not
It's a family request, not specific
we're-
writing
we're
of the
not-
trust.
Well,
obligated in that sense.
Well,
This
you
is
do
what
wanna-
we've always been doing. and
Right,
I-
obviously you want to make the family happy that
Right.
donated the money in the first place.
Absolutely.
Right.
So, all right, so do we have a motion to do those 3 things as described?
Okay.
Who wants to make
And
the
then are we
motion?
going to decide in March which
March or
the
April.
time
At
frame?
March meeting,
No.
no?
That the time that, how long we're going to hold the
Because we'll see
CD?
what the numbers are and.
Okay.
Yeah, we have to see if the interest rates go up in March.
Will
Yes.
that change on how long we're going to hold the CD?
We're not holding the CD, we're just not gonna renew it.
No, she
I know.
means
I
like
mean, like,
what we will
let's
lock
say
into.
after
Oh,
March.
oh.
What are we going to lock?
Years.
You're right.
Oh,
What are we going to put our money
decide
in?
that in March or April, when we know if the interest
Okay,
rates are going
that's
up.
what I want to know. Okay.
It's a siren.
Something's going
Police
on.
car.
It's not a siren,
Wow.
very odd.
Yeah, I think it's some sort of siren on it.
Okay.
All right, who would like to make the motion?
I motion that
Okay,
we do not renew the CD for the Watson account, and we put it into a savings account until such time we determine that we will place the money into another CD account.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
For Janet first, so I'll take Janet. Any discussions?
Okay, we do not renew the Watson CD, and we put it into savings until such time as we,
Review.
Yeah, it was.
such time as we review.
We're going to
I'm
review
sorry,
in March.
I was thinking about something else.
Until
We're just not going to renew it.
until such
The money
time
will
until
go
we
into a
review it.
savings, and then at future time, within the next couple of months, we'll review the current interest rates
Current interest
and then
rates.
determine how we will invest it.
Does it speculate that it has to be held in a CD? I
As
just want to make
anywhere
sure we
that-
weren't violating it.
We could
for
put
like
it
a month.
anywhere as long as the principal is protected.
It is a principal.
Okay.
This used to be in a Fidelity account. Just throwing it out
All
there.
right, so okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, 500. All right. And that was it for the Watson. Give me a second.
Laura, who seconded?
Janet.
Janet.
Well,
He
Janet,
claimed
but
Janet, okay.
I heard you first, Jan.
You did. That's done.
Thank you for doing that, Janet.
Yes, very
Right.
much.
No problem.
I'm keeping this on here. Alternate for the trustees. We're still looking for somebody. For those at home,
Yes.
we're looking.
Come on down.
Come on down. Send us an email. All right. Nothing else about alternates that anybody wanted to mention, did they? No? Okay.
No, we can use somebody to join
The
us.
17-18 budget. So, well, Yvette and I presented it to the town council. We found out at the town council meeting that they had approved a 2% raise for the non-union employees for the town. So we will discuss that during our non-public. But other than that, the budget went over really well. So, I don't have anything else to add about it, did you?
Nope.
Okay, open seats for 2017 is Laura and Karen. And I know you mentioned you are planning on rerunning.
Yep.
And I don't know if you've decided yet, Laura, or not, but do we have the dates for the sign-up yet?
I think it's already going on.
February
It's-
20.
yeah.
No, it's-
22
yeah.
through Friday, March 3rd.
So, yeah, so,
February the 22nd to March 3rd, huh? I'll get over there. Maybe tomorrow.
all right. Development fund. Did anybody else have anything to? No? Okay. Development fund.
Kind of went over that before.
We were going to discuss, because we were
Yeah, we're
talking
gonna
about,
talk a little
they
bit
they
about-
wanted another joint meeting. Are we waiting on them at this point to have their next meeting, or how are we proceeding with
At
that?
their last meeting, they were talking a little bit about their direction and maybe kind of taking their direction from what we were looking for them to do, or looking, as far as, are we looking at a new building or a renovation, so that they kind of have an idea of what is the money that they're holding for. So,
So they're looking to us for some direction.
You're the trustees.
yeah,
That's appropriate for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm,
Yeah.
not really telling them what to do, but I
Yes.
think what is our vision for the future will help them decide how they kind of move forward.
well,
Brings up the strategic plan, because putting together,
Right.
information about what this building is going to cost us and looking at a big strategic plan, it'll help give us direction, which then we can help the development fund with.
Right.
also, actually sitting down and doing a meeting that would generate future plans according to the board, that won't happen before the election. And if we have new trustees, I don't know. I mean, should we try to develop?
Well, the strategic plan's still in the works, correct?
It's being reviewed by the department heads.
Right.
So I think really it hinges on that.
It
to
does.
start
It
from.
does.
We really need that as our jumping point.
Yeah, I mean-
To sit down and review that with you and go over.
So we have, what, one
Yeah.
more meeting before the election?
When would you expect the strategic plan to be?
I wanted it done a year ago, but when you work with grown-ups, it's slower. Life lesson. But
And we tell them that the trustees want it for the next meeting, so.
I want it. You don't have to say trustees, I want it. You know, the challenge with reviewing the plan is that we have other things on our agenda that have to do with, you know, policy and business and personnel and, you know, the workings of the library. So when you add in, and we go for 2 hours as it is, you add in reviewing a document, and we didn't have a head of children's for months, so that halted a lot that touched that department. So, we're meeting this week, I think. We're meeting this week. I don't remember if it's Wednesday or Thursday, but I can put that on the agenda and bump it up. You know, I mean, I'm frustrated that it's taking so long because I would like to get it off my plate personally. I don't like it hanging over my head, and I feel like I've talked about the vision. Everyone knows what the vision is, but it's hard for people to understand unless they have it in writing and they can refer back to it. You know, it's like the building list that you're talking about. You've heard this from me over and
Yep.
over and over about the projects that have been going on, but for you, or you all, maybe when you see a list, oh, well, now I can see a list. You know,
Right.
it's like, okay, well, sure, you can see the list. You know, I just have to, we have to compile it and clean it up and whatever for you. But, do you want to give me a date?
Well, I think within the next couple of months, it would be nice to
Oh.
get the plan.
No, that's too long.
Well, I mean, because it
Yeah.
has been outstanding for a very long period of time. It would be
Yeah.
nice to kind of begin to work from a document and from a
Well,
plan.
we've
That's all.
accomplished practically, I mean, there's a lot on the list that we've already accomplished in terms of our action points. So, you know, as soon as it's approved, you have to go to another plan.
Then you need to update your plan.
But
And you need
gotta
to
be
start over and
updating your
update.
plan.
yeah, but now we have one. We don't have to start from scratch. You
Yeah.
know, this was starting from scratch, and that's the hard part. You know, and I do it when I'm not at work. I mean, you know, I record my hours and stuff, but
Yeah.
you know,
Don't forget that right after the elections, we do our retreat, and that's
Right.
kind of our goal setting.
Yes.
So that might be a good time for us to
Yeah.
really dive into
Yep.
those future plans and then get something concrete, and then we can pull the other groups together and really tell them what we're hoping for.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's in
it's April.
April,
Yeah. Which is a couple months.
yeah. So if we can have strategic plan next month to look at a little bit, and then we plan that for our,
Well, it sounds like it's out of Yvette's hands, so.
Hmm?
It sounds like it's out of your hands, so. it's
Out
not-
of my hands?
you know,
I
it's
don't know
not
what you're
really
saying.
getting it by then. It's not really in your control. You're waiting on others.
I can push them and say we're meeting, you know, and just
A friendly nudge.
yes, a friendly nudge. Sure, I can do that.
Right.
That's. I mean, we've been down a whole department head, and we're still have an opening in Circ.
Right.
So you know, people are covering shifts. You know, department heads are covering shifts. So when I say I need you to be in my office and we're going to do this for 3 hours until it's done, nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that. It- but, you know,
Yeah.
I need to get it out of my hair and,
Well, our
Start
next
writing the
meeting
next one.
should be March 21st,
mhm.
so that's 5 weeks.
Yeah, March 21st is,
Yeah, our next meeting is March 21st.
Okay, but you'll need it before to look at.
Probably if we're going to start talking about it.
I mean, that's the thing. The department heads have been looking at this. It was the summer. I mean, but summer is summer reading, so that's also hard too. So, you know, that's how long it takes people to look at it and refine it and add to it. You know, we're trying to present something to you that's complete, so that you don't have to do that editing work on it. You know, we're in the building and we're looking at the projects and goals and things and trying to articulate that.
see, my thoughts are, if we're going to use this for direction with the development fund, I'd say probably by like an April deadline, so that we could review it, discuss it at the April meeting, and then
Yep.
give in April, after the elections are over and everything, everybody's kind of fresh and renewed their thoughts on things. You know, they're not focusing on warrant articles and everything else. Gives us a nice clean slate to start from, and then we go forward.
Maybe we
given
can
the,
start thinking about a joint meeting in May.
Sounds good. All right. Any other comments or thoughts on that? Okay, moving on to the other business, we had the kit lending program. Yvette, do you want to talk
Yeah,
about it?
so this is just, this is an update. This was put in place in 2015, and the items in red that the kits, it's one kit per household can circulate at one time, and then that it needs to be returned disassembled. These are suggestions that the staff asked.
Pulling it all apart. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I read this, I had no idea what kind of kit you were talking about. The
It
logo is at the bottom here.
Yep, but that's not the only kit.
Well, I just think maybe somewhere on here it should state that this procedure applies to this, and this kit, because I have no idea what you're talking about.
We didn't want to make it that specific because we're adding kits.
Yeah.
To-
What is a kit? I don't know what you're,
Like a toy of some kind, like
Building
a set of
set.
Legos or building blocks or
Snap
puzzle.
circuits.
then maybe you need a statement as to what a kit is.
Multiple pieces that if
Over
you put
time,
them
it could
together a
change, too.
certain way.
Well, I just think it needs to be defined, that's all, because I don't know I didn't know what it meant. I mean, I could intuit that it was something that had pieces to it, but I didn't, and I thought it was just for Legolands.
No, we have other
But
kits.
by reading this, I wouldn't know that, that's all I'm saying, is I just think it needs a definition somewhere as to what a kit is.
Changing policy.
You know it up here, but it's not written on the paper to
No.
identify what
The
it
o-
means.
I mean, the only problem, I hear what you're saying. The only problem is that is every time we add a new kit, you need to
It
update this
changes the
policy.
definition.
Why would you need
yeah.
to do that?
Well, it would
Because
change
if
the
I list,
definition.
kits include
Well, you don't-
Legos, snap circuits.
Well, I don't know that
Blah,
you
blah,
have to list all the names of the kits, but define what a kit means. You know, a kit is an item that has multiple parts that's lent out or something like that. That's sort of a generic definition of what is a kit.
I see where you're going.
Not, you don't have to say what these are all the kits in the library we have, but what's the definition of a kit? That's all I'm saying. Because I really didn't know by reading this. And I have no idea what globally is available in terms of things people check out for kits. So, I mean, I know we have a telescope, is that a kit?
No.
So it's a separate item, so just so one would have an idea
We don't
what
want that coming
what a
back
kit means.
disassembled.
Huh?
We don't want that coming back disassembled.
No, don't want that coming back disassembled.
Little tiny
Yeah.
pieces.
So that was my thought on it. I mean, I think it's a nice procedure, but I just was like, I'm not sure what that means.
I didn't print it because it was such an easy change.
Okay, do you want to accept the change with whatever definition we come up with, or wait until March?
Well, I think maybe see the definition.
Anyone else?
Hmm?
All right. You can see what other,
What?
I'm seeing what other comments are.
I don't know.
I would trust that they would.
I
come
would
up with a
trust
good
too.
definition.
Okay.
I mean, if you
then
you
you
know,
can-
I mean, if you say you'll add a definition of some kind, that what a kit is composed of, or a kit is, an item is considered a kit when it, or whatever. And then just, the other stuff is fine. So that way you can just go ahead and do it.
Okay.
I agree.
So I propose we accept the updated policy that includes a definition of what a kit is.
So you're making the motion then?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, who's seconding?
I'll second.
Jen seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? 500.
Okay.
Okay. And then one other point I wanted to bring up for other business. Yvette, you and I talked about, we started writing those letters from the trustees to circulate. Remember we hadn't done that for a while. This,
Oh,
you
Oh,
had
you-
written one, I wrote one.
Yeah.
You mean
I
like
think you
a,
wrote one, yeah.
like
Like
a
a re-
update?
Like an update on,
Yeah.
on what's
Yes.
been going on.
Yep.
So we kind of want to try to get back into the ball
Yeah.
of doing that. So, if it's okay with everybody else, I could take this month and then,
Yeah.
one of you could tackle next month.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Mhm.
Mention hoopla.
It's
For
going
this
to be
month.
on the website.
Were there any
The
other
letter?
points that we want? Yeah, well, last time we saw it,
Like
ended
it
up
goes
making
to
it
the
into the newspaper and
journal.
a couple others.
Well, we'll send it out for constant contact, link it to Facebook, there's
Right.
the usual platform.
So other than hoopla, are there any updates that we want to toot our horn about, I guess?
Well, I mean, it's everything you just talked about in this meeting.
Yeah.
You've had
Yeah.
we have a new subcommittee, the building subcommittee, that met with the staff and walked through the building and heard updates about
We have a new staff member.
things that were going on. Happy to welcome a new staff member after a very long
Youth
interview
services, yeah.
process. Reviewing the Watson account,
Mm-hmm.
you can always,
Yeah, financial health
Say
of the
that you're-
library.
right?
Okay.
And the three boards have been meeting. They've started to have some joint meetings, and you're very excited about.
Yes, this is good.
That you're very excited about.
He's excited about being
I will
excited.
edit.
Which I thank you for.
Oh, for you personally, of your writing, or just for him?
No, for me.
Well, so, I mean, you're a writer, and you say, who's my audience? Well, there's only 5 of you sitting around the table, and the 15 people who are watching. But
The 3 people at home with insomnia.
exactly, see, there you go.
Exactly.
But for people to understand from your vantage point, I think the other reason why we started to do this in the beginning was to really show, don't tell. Show
Right.
this is the job of a trustee. Come on, be an alternate. I mean, you don't have to
Alternate.
Alternates, yes.
alternates. I mean, I will catch it all. I'll catch it all. But you don't have to
I should
tell
point next to that one.
this audience, come use the library, it's awesome, because these things usually go out to library users. You can highlight, different things that are new, but,
Yeah, so anyway, I wanted us to get
Yeah.
back in the kind of routine of doing
Yeah.
that, just to kind of basically toot our horn a little bit of what's going on in the library. So I'll take this month, and then you guys can think of who wants to do one for next month.
when are you going to send it to me?
I will get it to you by next week. Is that early enough, or do you?
Or is that late enough?
Yes, I-
You just send it, you know, it's,
Yeah, this is, Monday's a holiday, so I will have it to you by Tuesday.
okay.
Karen and Laura, since you're at the end of this term, maybe one of you wants to do March? I'm just throwing that out there, don't put pressure.
I can do March.
Because I don't mind taking one, but,
I'll do March.
you know.
Right. Okay. On to the calendar. So the public hearing for the town council is Thursday, the 16th, where they will be going over the proposed budget and warrant articles. So hopefully, depending on our non-public, talk to them at that point. The library development fund is 321, is that right?
Yeah.
And the trustee meeting is also 321 later that same day. Development fund being at 4:45, trustees 7 p.m. Friends of the Public Library are meeting the 27th of February. That's it for the calendar.
Do you want to do April?
Yeah,
Okay, I'll put you down for April.
Okay, any questions from press and public? Seeing none. All right, we need to do a roll call vote to go into non-public per RSA 91-A:3, 2, subsection A. So, start with Jen.
I,
Aye, Laura. It's roll call, so you gotta say aye. Janet.
Aye.
Me, aye. Karen.
Aye.
Okay, so we will go into non-public and we will resume across the street for non-public.
It's 8:09.
So we'll take a 15-minute break to get across the street so we can use the computer and non-public.
But we're going to have to go into public across the street just for a minute so we can adjourn, okay?
Yeah, for the adjournment.
Yeah.
That's pretty fast.